If you've ever said, I just want to do good work and stay out of office politics, I completely understand. In fact, that's exactly how many people think. They work hard, keep their heads down, avoid drama, and assume the results will speak for themselves. After more than 20 years in HR leadership roles in the financial and tech industries, I can tell you something that surprises a lot of people. The individuals who struggle the most with office politics are often the ones who refuse to acknowledge they exist. And that's where unnecessary stress begins. When you don't understand how decisions actually get made, that's when everything starts feeling confusing. You work your tail off and someone else gets that promotion. You start wondering, why did that person get that opportunity and not me? Why wasn't I included in that meeting? Why wasn't my work recognized? In today's video, I'm going to change the way you think about office politics because I don't believe they're inherently evil. Ignoring it is usually the bigger mistake. We're going to separate the myths from reality. And with an insider's perspective, I'll explain what office politics actually are, why so many employees misunderstand them, and how you can navigate workplace influence without becoming someone you don't want to be. I'm sure you have colleagues that suck up to management, and it's so obvious it makes you want to vomit, right? We're not going to do that. Instead, I'll show you how to understand the environment you work in because awareness is key to building a sustainable career. When people hear of office politics, they typically think of gossip, favoritism, backstabbing, and taking credit for someone else's work. And those things exist, but that's not what office politics actually are. Politics happen anytime people have a difference in priorities, perspectives, limited resources, and competing ideas. And I hate to break it to you, but that happens in every organization. The moment people come together, influence exists. And some people can influence through their expertise, while others influence through their relationships, communication, and trust. Politics is not the problem here because it exists everywhere. The problem is assuming you can completely opt out of them. But what most people don't realize is that even if you choose not to participate, you're still affected by them. When I worked in HR, one of the biggest misconceptions I heard was this belief: if I worked hard enough, then everything else will take care of itself. I wish that were always true. Don't get me wrong, great work absolutely matters, but it's not the only thing that leaders evaluate on. When I worked with management and we would talk about their teams, we would touch on a number of different factors. Here they are. First one being trust. Can people trust you? Second, do you know what you're doing? And do you understand the impact that you have on the bigger picture? Next, can you collaborate and work with others? Can you communicate clearly? And do stakeholders have confidence in working with you? Those aren't political games. They're signals to help people make decisions about you and your work. Here's where burnout often enters the picture. When employees don't understand these dynamics, they respond by working even harder. And this can look like longer hours, taking on more work, saying yes to more responsibilities, more meetings, whatever can be piled on, trying to prove their worth by more effort. But you see, effort alone without visibility, it often leads to exhaustion, not recognition. I've seen incredibly talented people burn themselves out because they believed that working harder was the answer, when the real issue was that they weren't communicating their value. And that's a very different problem. So now you may be asking, well, Emily, what does healthy office politics look like? It looks like building genuine relationships. We're all guilty of this, including myself. We don't reach out to people unless we need something from them or when it's convenient for us. But it's so easy to communicate nowadays, and it doesn't take much time. How can you do this at the workplace? By being proactive. The first is keep people informed of your work. You don't need to provide details. Provide a high-level overview. Second, understand your manager's priorities. When you understand your manager's priorities, you understand the bigger picture. And I hate to break it to you, but our role is to make our managers look good. If our managers look good, it makes us look good, and it makes the team look good. It's to your advantage. Third is understand who influences decisions. Not everyone with the big titles are the ones that influence decisions. The next time you're at a meeting, sit back and observe who are the most vocal with their opinions and how does leadership respond to them. Next is speak up when your work has an impact. People are not mind readers. If your work retained a client, secured a client, or had a positive impact on the overall company, bring that up. And you can do that in a humble way by providing an update to the team, to your manager. Hey, great news. I just wanted to share an update regarding client XYZ. And if someone helped you secure that client, bring them up, give them credit, because what will happen is they will reciprocate the next time you help them. It's human nature. And let me tell you that when someone speaks on your behalf, it goes a lot further when you say it on your own. The last two go hand in hand, and it is to follow through on your communication and being known for someone people trust. My sister and I were brought up to follow through on our word. Our messages should be aligned with our actions because that will naturally allow people to trust you. Notice that none of these required you to be fake. It didn't require manipulation or to step over others. These are simply professional skills that everyone should learn and improve upon. And whether we like it or not, careers are built on competence and trust. Here's what I'll leave you with. You don't have to love office politics. Most people don't. But pretending they don't exist does not protect you. It usually leaves you confused, frustrated, wondering why things happen the way they do. The goal here is not to become political. It's to become aware. And the moment you start understanding how your workplace functions, you'll stop taking things personally. You'll become more intentional with communication, and you'll build stronger relationships. And most importantly, You'll spend less emotional energy fighting rules that were always there to begin with. That awareness doesn't just help your career, it protects your mental health. One of the biggest sources of workplace stress is trying to navigate an environment you don't fully understand. The more clarity you have, the less emotional energy you spend guessing. And that creates a more sustainable way to build your career. If this shifted your perspective, let me know in the comments. And I'd love to hear, what have you learned about office politics that you wish someone had told you earlier? I'll see you in the next video.